Life moves like water, in a gentle stream. Each moment carries a shape that never stays the same for long. When we watch the river, we see how it adapts around stones and bends, without fear or struggle. In the same way, our own days shift from joy to challenge, from quiet to noise, again and again. If we pay attention, we begin to notice a pattern in these changes, a rhythm that runs under every experience. We often try to hold on to a feeling, or push away what feels difficult. Yet the stream never tries to hold on to a drop of rain, nor does it reject any branch that falls into its flow. It welcomes everything and lets it pass through. In that simple act, it finds its strength and its grace. It reminds us that we do not need fierce effort to shape life. We only need clear sight and a willing heart. On a small screen, you may watch this river dance on your phone. In that moment, take a breath and imagine yourself by the water's edge. Feel the calm that comes when you simply observe. You do not have to fix what you see or change its course. You only need to recognize its motion and let it teach you. This way of seeing life can bring a quiet power to your day. It can help you meet each situation with fresh eyes, without the weight of yesterday's worries or tomorrow's hopes. When you learn to trust this flow, you begin to live in harmony with every shift in wind and every turn in the path. In doing so, you discover the true beauty in letting things be exactly as they are. Change can feel like a sudden gust of wind. One moment the air is still, and the next it moves around you with force. We often meet this wind with resistance, pulling tightly against what feels new or strange. In doing so, we create tension inside ourselves that can be far harsher than the change itself. Yet even within the gust, there is a space of quiet. Imagine standing on a hill while the wind blows through your coat and hair. Your body may sway, but your feet can stay rooted. When you focus on this steady point, the wind around you becomes less frightening. It simply becomes a breeze passing by, one that you can feel, inhale, and let move you gently. On your smartphone, you watch this scene in video, and it reminds you of moments in life when plans shift and days take a different color. Instead of tightening your grip, you can learn to soften around the edges. This does not mean you ignore your feelings or your needs. It means you meet the wind as it comes and trust in your own strength to stand firm. When you find the calm in change, you turn surprise into curiosity. You become open to new paths that once seemed closed. You step forward with a clear mind, ready to adapt and to learn. The world moves, the wind blows, and you remain composed. In that gentle balance, you discover a form of courage that does not shout but whispers, guiding you through every shift with a calm heart. This quiet strength is always inside you. Even in the busiest moments, you can pause for a breath and remember your hill. Know that changing seasons, new faces, and shifting plans will come and go. By finding calm in each wave of change, you build a life of gentle resilience. Every morning, the world offers us a new gift, even if it arrives wrapped in uncertainty. When you open your phone and see the sunlight through the screen, imagine you are opening a door to each unfolding moment. Some days bring bright skies, and others bring clouds that hide the sun. In both, there is something to embrace. These changing scenes are not obstacles, but companions on your journey. Think of your thoughts like visitors arriving at a quiet house. Some carry news of joy, and others carry worry. Instead of turning anyone away, you can offer each one a seat by the hearth. You do not have to believe every story they tell, yet you can listen with patience. In that gentle welcome, you discover space around your mind where you did not notice it before. On your small screen, you might glimpse a bird landing on a branch or a leaf drifting to the ground. These simple moments ask nothing of you but your attention. You do not need to reach out and catch the leaf, nor block the bird's flight. You only watch and allow the scene to unfold. In doing so, you honor the beauty in what simply is. When challenges appear, a sudden message, an urgent call, a memory that stirs old feelings, you can greet them as you would an old friend arriving without warning. Offer a quiet nod, take a breath, and feel your body remain steady. You need not push the feeling away or chase it down. By making room for each sensation, you find your center more easily. Life will continue to bring what comes, both welcome and unwelcome. The true gift lies in the simple act of reception. With open hands and an open heart, you create a space where peace can grow. Each moment, when you choose to welcome what comes, you practice the art of living fully here and now. We often push against the path of life as if we know a better way. We plan every step, map each detail, and expect the ground beneath us to stay perfectly steady. Yet nature has its own timing. A seed does not rush open at first light, nor does the tide hurry to meet the shore. Everything unfolds in its own rhythm. Imagine watching a leaf drift down a river. It does not struggle upstream or pull at the banks. It moves in harmony with the current, turning gently when the flow shifts. In that simple scene, the leaf invites us to trust what carries us. We need not force our journey. We only need to sail with the wind that is already blowing. On your smartphone screen, you may see sunrise after sunrise, each one unique. Some mornings glow with color, others rise in quiet grey. You cannot command the sun to shine your way, yet you can feel its warmth when it arrives. You learn to meet each dawn without expectation or regret. You simply let the light guide you. When plans change, a paused project, a new opportunity, a quiet pause, you can choose to welcome the turn in the road. You might feel doubt or worry, but deep down you know that every shift has its purpose. You do not need to force an answer. You can trust that the path will reveal itself in time. This trust does not come from blind hope. It comes from watching rivers, watching skies, and noticing how life supports every living thing without hurry. You remember that you are part of this great system, not apart from it. By trusting the natural course, you find a calm confidence. You discover that when you release your grip on how it must be, you open your hands to what truly is. In that space, each step becomes a step of faith. In life, our mind often judges every sensation as pleasant or unpleasant. When we look at a view, we add words like beautiful or ugly before we even truly see it. Imagine tapping your screen and watching a quiet garden scene unfold. Before naming the flowers or the stones, simply notice their form, their color, their movement. Without defining them, each detail invites you to observe deeply, to rest in pure sight without the weight of any opinion. On a small phone screen, you might catch a drop of water falling into a still pond. You see the ripples spreading, the circle growing wider. You do not have to call it good or bad. You only watch the ripples shape, the light as it dances across the surface. In that act of simple seeing, you free yourself. You no longer chase approval or fear disapproval. You meet each image as it appears, fresh and free from labels. When a sudden message arrives, praise or criticism, your heart may tighten. You may judge the words as right or wrong, helpful or harmful. Instead, try pausing for one breath before reacting. Watch your heartbeat. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. Notice the tone of the message as if it were a piece of music, without deciding whether it is good or bad. You discover space between stimulus and reply, a gentle gap that lets you see more clearly. Through this practice of undirected watching, you learn to see life as it simply is. You no longer cling to praise or push away discomfort. You open your eyes to every tone, every shape, every sound with a calm mind. This way of seeing becomes a gift you carry throughout your day. With each glance at your screen or each moment in the world, you learn to hold nothing back. You simply see, and in that pure seeing, you find true freedom. Between the sounds of traffic, the chatter of neighbors, and the hum inside our heads, stillness can feel like a distant dream. Yet this quiet space exists within each of us, waiting to be noticed. Even a brief pause can reveal a calm center that supports every step we take. When you open a short video of a quiet temple garden on your phone, you see rocks aligned without hurry, and water moving in slow patterns. Notice how nothing fights for attention. Each stone remains in its place. Each drop of water flows around obstacles without rush. Imagine carrying that sense of balance inside. Allow your breath to guide you inward. As you inhale, feel the cool air brushing your chest. As you exhale, let tension soften around your shoulders. You do not need to change your breath or hold it in any special way. You only watch it as if you were watching the petals of a flower unfold, natural. On your screen, the garden seems still, but inside, thoughts may rise like birds calling. Acknowledge them without following. Let the space between two thoughts become your companion. You might notice a moment of silence so small, it almost escapes notice. Welcome that gap as a friend. In that silent gap, you reconnect with your own rhythm. You discover that calmness is not an escape from life, but a foundation beneath every action. When you carry this stillness within, even the busiest moment can become an opportunity to return home to yourself. As you move through your day, remember the temple garden in your hand. With each glance at notifications and each message, pause for a breath and feel the quiet inside. Embracing this stillness reveals a gentle power that guides you through every scene of life. Our hands shape our life, often without our notice. They hold phones, books, and cups, yet when we free them, we free ourselves. On your phone screen, you might watch a pair of hands opening slowly, as if they were petals unfolding. Notice how the fingers drift apart, creating a gentle space. There is no rush, no effort, only a soft invitation. Imagine your own hands rising into view. You do not grip or clench. You only let them breathe. Feel the subtle lift of your palms and the lightness it brings. In that open shape, you sense ease. The hands do not fight against gravity. They rest in their own form, offering both support and space. Open hands can catch life's small gifts. A breeze may touch your skin. A kind message may arrive in your inbox. An open shape allows you both to receive and to share. You do not have to hold each gift forever. You can feel it, honor it, and then gently let it continue on its path. Life is a series of exchanges. We take in the colors of sunset and share smiles with friends. On your screen, you may see someone offering a bowl of tea, holding the cup in both palms. Notice the quiet willingness in that gesture. The giver invites you to accept without fear and without demand. At times, we grip too tight. A photograph becomes a weight. A plan feels like a chain. When you watch open hands, you feel how ease can bring freedom. Your fingers relax, your arms soften, your posture opens. You become ready for the next moment. Living with open hands does not mean abandoning care. It means choosing balance. You meet each scene, welcome or difficult, with a heart that can both hold and release. When a flood of news scrolls across your screen, you open your palms to receive the truth, feel its impact, and let it flow through you. As you tap and scroll each day, remember those open hands. Let them guide your actions. In that shape, you find strength to welcome every gift, to share kindness, and to move lightly with each turn of life. Our heart speaks in a quiet voice. When the world gets loud, It can be hard to hear its rhythm. You feel its beat when you hold your phone close, but you may not notice after you start to scroll. Try this. Place a gentle hand over your chest and take a moment to feel the rise and fall beneath your palm. On your small screen, you may see a heart shape drawn in sand, or a pulse drawn as a simple line. These images remind us that the heart is alive with its own music. It does not shout. It moves softly, carrying messages about what matters to us. You can learn its song if you simply listen. Listening to your heart asks you to slow your pace. When a message arrives or a thought pulls you away, pause for a breath. Feel the space between your breaths. In that space, the heart speaks. It may remind you of a choice that feels true, or of a gentle hope you almost forgot. It may guide you to a place of kindness when thoughts push you toward worry. When you watch this moment on your phone, bring your own heart into view. Notice how each beat arrives and departs like a bird on wing. You do not guide it. You do not judge it. You simply let your awareness rest there. As you do, the world around you may settle. From here, you make decisions with a quiet confidence. You follow a path that feels aligned, not because you force it, but because you hear its song. Trust that sound. Trust that guidance. Even when the road seems unclear, your heart shows you the next step. In listening, you find a friend and a guide that stays with you through every turn. Every day, small wonders pass by. A single flower opens on the sidewalk. A gentle ray of sun warms your face. On your smartphone screen, you may see a close-up of a raindrop clinging to a leaf. That tiny drop holds a whole world. When you notice it, you honor its quiet presence. In the rush of messages and alerts, small moments can feel lost, yet they shape our day. A child's laugh echoes down the hall. A bird calls at dawn. When you watch a short clip, slow your pace. Let each scene on the screen speak softly to you. Feel the gift in these tiny details. On your phone, you might pause on a frame showing dust motes dancing in light. You do not need to change that image. You only let your eyes rest there. Feel how something simple can bring warmth. That tiny sparkle becomes a gentle reminder of the beauty in life's smallest parts. When you walk outside, notice the pattern of shadows on the ground. Feel the texture of pavement beneath your feet. You do not have to chase grand moments. The small ones are enough. They ask you to slow down. They invite you to appreciate the world piece by piece. Each small moment carries its own meaning. A shared glance with a friend, the taste of tea on your tongue, the pause between two steps. When you honor these beats, you build a map of kindness. You carry each fragment of magic in your heart, and it lights your path for every next moment. As you tap and swipe through your day, remember to honor the small. Let them rest in your mind like stones on a path. Each moment, no matter how tiny, can open your eyes to wonder. When you honor small moments, you honor life itself. Every step you take can become a gentle journey. When you open a short clip on your phone showing someone walking along a quiet forest trail, notice how they place each foot with care. They do not rush. Their gaze rests softly on the trees, and their shoulders stay relaxed. In that rhythm, you feel ease in every movement. Imagine yourself following their path through the woods. Feel the soft earth under your shoes. Each time you lift your foot, you guide it forward with a sense of intention. You do not hurry to reach the end. You allow each step to be its own experience. You welcome the uneven ground and the small stones that press against your soul. On your screen, you might see sunlight filtering through leaves, creating patches of gold on the trail. You do not try to step only in the light. You walk through both light and shadow, accepting each with the same calm. In doing so, You learn that the path reveals itself beneath your feet, moment by moment. When life presents twists and turns, a change in schedule, a new task at work, you can meet them as bends in the trail. Instead of forcing a straight line, you curve with the path laid out before you. You trust your own balance. You know that small adjustments of direction keep you steady and safe. As you tap and scroll through your day, remember the walker on the screen. With every message you read and every call you answer, imagine placing your feet softly on the ground. Walk with gentle steps, guided by your own quiet pace. In this way, each moment becomes part of a lasting journey, one that carries you forward with ease and grace. Beauty is all around, if we take a moment to see it. As you move through your day, you might rush from one task to the next, but what if you pause to look at something simple? A beam of light across the wall, the pattern of cracks in the pavement. These quiet wonders are always there. On your smartphone, you might scroll past a video showing rain droplets on a window or the play of light under a bridge. Notice how each image holds a small miracle. You don't need to travel far to find beauty. It can appear in a drop of water, in a fallen leaf, or in the curve of a stranger's smile. When you open a clip of busy city streets, you may catch someone pausing to tie their shoe, or a child waving at a passing dog. These brief gestures remind us that beauty is not only in grand views, but in simple actions. We can learn to catch these moments, even in the blur of our daily routine. Try this. When you watch a short clip, lift your gaze from the center of the screen. Let your eyes roam to the edges. You may spot a bird landing on a wire, the way light glints off a car window, or the rhythm of people moving together. By shifting focus, you open yourself to surprise. Back in the real world, carry this practice with you. When you walk down a hallway or stand at a bus stop, look around without judgment. Take in the shapes, colors, sounds, and textures. Each scene can offer a hint of grace if you slow your mind and let your eyes wander. Beauty does not wait for a perfect moment. It meets us in the chaos, the routine, and the unexpected. By noticing the world this way, you build a daily habit of gratitude, and with each glimpse of wonder, your heart learns to see more, appreciate more, and live more fully. Life often rushes us from one moment to the next, leaving little room for rest. Yet within each beat of your heart lies a quiet space waiting for you to settle. When your phone illuminates a short clip of an empty room, you see light and shadow pause together. In that pause, you find a hint of rest. When you open a video of a silent temple hall on your screen, notice how the air seems still. No footsteps echo, no wind stirs. Even the dust motes hang in place. You do not need to add sound or movement. You only watch the quiet, as if it were a friend inviting you to sit beside it. In that gentle stillness, sense the space around each thought. Imagine placing all your to-do lists at the edge of the frame. They remain there, without urgency. You simply let them exist, neither pushing them closer nor sending them away. From this vantage, your mind softens. On your small screen, the candle's flame may tremble without hurry. Each flicker rests before it moves again. You do not chase it or hold it steady. You simply observe its gentle dance. That simple watching becomes an act of rest for your eyes and your mind. In daily life, you can carry this practice forward. When you pause between tasks, turn your gaze inward, feel the space behind your eyes and the lightness at the top of your head. You do not fill that space with ideas or plans. You let it remain open and quiet. As you move through messages and scenes on your phone, remember the silent room and the waiting space within you. Resting in quiet does not mean stopping life. It means allowing a moment of calm to support everything you do. In that restful place, you find clarity, renewal, and the simple strength to continue. Every moment brings many feelings and ideas. On your phone screen, you might see people stepping onto a busy subway platform. You simply watch the flow, seeing how each person finds space. Inside your mind, many thoughts may compete. A message pops up, a memory appears, a plan demands action. Instead of closing your mind to some and welcoming only the pleasant, you can create room for all. Imagine opening both arms wide, like a door that stays open in the wind. When you watch a video of a crowded street, notice the silence under the noise. Without raising the volume, you see faces that look away, babies that cry, smiles that burn bright. Each sound and each silence has its place. In that awareness, you find calm among chaos. In life, you can practice this by pausing before tasks. Before responding to a call or starting a project, take a breath and feel space around your heart. You do not have to push out hard thoughts to make room for the easy ones. You can hold both without struggle. When joy arrives, welcome it with a spark in your chest. When sorrow appears, meet it with understanding and let it sit beside you like an old friend. On your small screen, you may replay a memory that makes you laugh or cry. Each replay has its space, and you allow it. By making room for everything, you discover a deeper capacity to live fully. You can carry more beauty, more pain, and more life. In that wide space, life unfolds in all its colors. You become strong, not by closing in, but by opening wide enough to hold it all. When you tap and scroll through your day, remember to keep that space wide. Let each moment find its place in your open heart. All the moments we have shared lead us back to one simple truth. Life shines when we let each thing be as it is. The rushing stream, the gentle wind, the open hands, all of these teach us that strength lies in acceptance. We find space for joy and for sorrow, for silence and for song, when we rest in the flow of each moment. As you watch this final scene on your phone, allow yourself to remember the quiet center you have discovered. Notice how every breath can guide you back to calm, how every view, whether bright or shaded, carries its own beauty. In that gentle balance, you touch the heart of life itself. It is a quiet path we walk together, one that asks little but gives much. Your presence here, watching, pausing, feeling, brings meaning to each word and each pause. It warms my heart to see your likes and to read your comments, where you share moments of your own journey. It uplifts me when you choose to subscribe and to become a member, joining this circle of kindness. Your super thanks and membership support allow these videos to continue, and for that, I offer my deepest gratitude. May you carry this beauty with you after the screen fades. May each step be guided by the grace you have practiced, and may each small moment remind you of the peace that waits within. Life will continue to unfold in its own perfect way, and you will meet it with an open heart. Thank you for watching, for sharing your attention, and for every act of kindness that keeps this community alive. Wherever you go next, may you find the gentle power of letting things be.